Crystal with Minding Your Matters Organizing, here today to talk to you about the social activities that will come up during this holiday time. And you and I both know that there are lots of them. The trouble is, we already live in an overextended society in our everyday lives. So at the holidays, we tend to say, what's one more party or one more gathering or one more activity? And unfortunately, since we're already pretty stuffed in our schedule, then you're just talking about overstuffing it. So, before we talk too much about parties, I want you to go back to some of the overview stuff I've talked about and think about reevaluating some of your habits. Just because you've always had a party on X date for X people doesn't mean you have to do it this year. Just because you've always attended the parties of 5 different people doesn't mean you have to attend them this year. So I just want you to remember that just because you've done it before doesn't mean you have to do it again. And always, always, always check your calendar before you say yes, because otherwise you will find that you are going to 4 different parties on the same night at the same time. The other thing I want you to remember as we're talking about parties is that you need to conquer some of your external clutter that's going to be happening. So for example, during the holidays, mail still comes in, phone calls still come in, things happen. And so you need to maintain those. Paying the bills is still important. So make sure you have a plan in place for maintaining activities that go on regardless of what time of the year it is. The other thing you may want to do is divert new things that come in. Not talking about the parties, just talking about other things that come up. You've got enough on your plate, no pun intended, during this party season. So make sure you divert things. The last thing is, and we're going to talk a lot about this, we're going to talk about delegating, because there are lots of people and places you can go for delegation. So when we're talking about parties, whether it's yours or whether it's theirs, you have some decisions to make. First of all, you're going to decide ahead when you need special meals. This is especially if you have people that will be coming over and staying with you for more than a day. So, are you only going to need a special meal on the day of the holiday? Do you need special meals the whole time the guests are there? What about for parties that you are attending? Do you need to take really special types of food? So that's the first thing, is to think about those special meals. And then all that that involves if you say yes to a special meal. The next thing you need to do is to minimize any party prep. So for example, rather than snail mail invitations, there are evites, special electronic invitations, or even just plain old email. You might have the food catered, or you might purchase food that is already complete for a meal. You might have a buffet, even have other people bring items. You might want to use holiday paper goods rather than worrying about dishes. Another thing worth considering and worth breaking a habit over is to consider having alternative party times. Maybe you're going to have a New Year's party rather than your Christmas party. Maybe have Christmas in July. Maybe have a St. Patrick's Day party or 4th of July. So think about other times when you can have some celebrations. Remember, you want to feel less stressed during this holiday time, and if you have to do tons of preparation for parties, whether it's yours or someone else's, you're not going to feel the special joy of the season. Please feel free to find out more information at mindingyourmatters.com. You can also contact us from there, and please visit our special holiday resource location to find out a few more ways that you can make this holiday less stressful.